Good morning. This is the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. My name's Dave Burney.
I'm Brent Apperson. Good morning.
It is cold out there, 3 degrees. I think we're up to 4 now. And when you first started to back up, you may have wondered if your car was going to move. I think the melt yesterday and little moisture on the brakes and got down to 3, and all of a sudden maybe that car didn't want to move this morning if you had it sitting outside. But it will move, but you'll want to move carefully today. Still a lot of one-lane traffic, at least here in Broken Bow on our residential areas. And they're working on downtown. I noticed coming out this morning, the lights were flashing. They were working around the square. And so I think a lot of the businesses are going to be open today here in Broken Bow. Might be a little late here and there. If you can't have parking, you can't really get people in the door, but they're working on that if they don't have it cleaned up already. So, yeah, but you want to be careful on any off-roads of any kind, and even highways. They're still packed, and I think they just opened up Interstate yesterday morning, and I had that story on this morning. Large numbers of accidents, 300 people needed assistance between Grand Island and, I think it was Grand Island and Wyoming line. Might have been shorter span than that even. And I'm sure they weren't all reported. So a lot of people off the road and stuck in this area as well during the storm. And I'm sure law officials and rescue units had their hands full, couldn't even go out for a while. So I think there's still a lot of cleanup to do, Brent.
There is, yeah. What you said about, the side streets, certainly in Broken Bow, and I'm guessing other communities too. It's like one lane. So, man, be careful. Too bad you can't just say, okay, odd streets go south, even streets go north. But, just be careful. We all got to work with one another, I guess. Yeah, got to let each other by.
Yep, so. That's exactly left here yesterday and turned south to go up towards the house, and there was a very nice gentleman up at the other end of the block, and he let 2 of us through, and then he went through, and that's the way it should work until we can get those widened out, and it might be a while. A lot of snow to move.
It might be, yeah, boy, yeah. Thanks to everybody who's moving snow, too, by the way.
Yep,
we appreciate you.
Yeah, and out on the highways, I know, yesterday we had just enough wind. Some of the work they did probably had to be redone. We didn't get terrible winds yesterday, thank goodness, because with this much snow, you clear it and it blows back in a big hurry when you have real high winds. But I know there's some people out there, I've seen some postings and different chatter about why isn't this road, this highway, this road cleaned, and well, it just takes longer to move this much snow to start with. Got to pile it up, and you don't move as fast as you would if you had 6 inches on the ground. And so we'll want to, again, be patient with our folks out there. And there's just something about snow that brings the ornery side of people out.
It can.
Yeah.
It brought the ornery side of me out a little bit yesterday because I opened my front door.
Oh, did you get it open?
I got it open because it opens to the inside, thank goodness. But it opened to the inside, and I got like a pile of snow up to my kneecaps just coming out my door. And so trying to scoop that out, man, oh man, I was like walking through a ridge that was almost as tall as me.
Well, there's some of that out there.
I almost threw my snow shovel, Dave.
Oh.
I'm like, man, this is too much snow.
Peg, Mom, you might want to give Brent a little text or a little note and calm me down a little bit. Again, snow can bring the anger out of you.
I can.
And we don't want to get angry at one another just at the snow.
No.
And don't scoop too fast. I did some scooping yesterday out back, trying to get a car out. And you just have to stop every once in a while. Kind of slip your hand underneath your coveralls, and you'll find that you're sweating. And you want to be careful about getting too much work in a short period of time, because you just, that snow makes you angry and you want to get it out of there, and bad things can happen. So you kind of have to pace yourself out there if you're scooping. And I know there's snow blowers and equipment out there, these wonderful machines, but there's just not enough of them to get everywhere. So
yeah,
you know the story out there. We're just kind of umbrellaing what you folks out there are going through. Now, the farmers and ranchers, I did see some communication there, digging their way to the cattle, getting a place where they can feed them. Some of them are already calving. This is what happens in Nebraska, and they've been through it before. As Mike Evans always says, I'm not telling them anything they don't know, but good luck out there and stay safe. Take care of yourselves, and hopefully all will work out. Good news is going to be some moisture put into the ground. We're just going to have to do it the hard way. I know a lot of guys would say, you know what, I would just like it to start raining about late March and rain through April and get that grass going. That would be a lot better than snow, but nature just doesn't work that way.
That's right. Yeah. I guess this would be a glass half full comment, but listen, we've all been through snowstorms.
Right.
You know, do you remember a day following the storm that was as nice as yesterday?
Well, if there wasn't any better ones than yesterday.
I mean, what did the high get to? It was
35.
Over freezing, right?
35.
The sun came out.
Yeah.
Like you said, the wind was
not a big factor.
Kind of minimal. Wow, I don't recall a day that nice right after the storm.
It was great. No, I really don't. At least none better. Let's put it that way. Yeah. Makes cleanup better when you got a little sun. Things start melting when you clear it off, and it makes you feel like you're getting somewhere. Like the storm before we had, the ice that came ahead of the snow. This is tough, but that ice before just wouldn't go away. And some of that is still under the snow out there. That's one of the reasons people are having a little trouble getting around sometimes is there's a little of that ice left underneath all this snow. So Brent's going to go answer the phone. It is ringing on our line, so he's going to take care of that for us. So we'll take a quick time out. Before I play this particular spot break, I want to let you know, this just was in, that Bruning Bank here in Broken Bow are going to open up around 10. They're going to have a late start at Bruning Bank. I know Nebraska State Bank was one of the latter notes we posted that was emailed to us last night, and they're going to hope to open around 10 o'clock this morning as well. So Bruning Bank and Nebraska State Bank hoping to have the doors open at 10 o'clock. And it might be either side of 10, but they're going to work on it. And as Jim mentioned this morning, they're still cleaning up downtown, so they kind of want to wait for that to get cleaned up as well. So businesses will probably be open, I would imagine, for the most part, pretty consistently, at least after the noon hour today here in Broken Bow and in your community where you're calling from. It could be different depending on how much snow you got. We'll be right back.
No matter where your schedule takes you, stay up to date on your bank accounts. Sign up for mobile banking or online banking with Bruning Bank to keep track of your accounts anywhere, anytime. At home, the gym, grocery store, day or night. Deposit checks, transfer between accounts, view transactions, and check balances. Set up bill pay so you never forget to pay that bill ever again. Ready to simplify your life? Download the app or visit BruningBank.com. Bruning Bank, member FDIC.
Gary's Superfoods is proud to be your hometown grocery store, open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. This week, delicious Smithfield all-natural baby back pork ribs are $2.99 a pound, and so are Open Acres boneless skinless chicken breasts. Have a pasta night. Prego pasta sauces are $1.88. Stock up on snacks with Cheez-It or Townhouse crackers at 2 for $6. Yoplait yogurts are 10 for $6. All this week at Gary's Superfoods, South B Street in Broken Bow.
Is winter weather and the fear of falling keeping you indoors for the season? Don't fall. Give Pearson's a call. Poor balance and falls can diminish your ability to lead an active and independent life, but you don't have to accept them as a consequence of aging. Pearson Physical Therapy has been helping their patients stay on their feet and take back their independence through individualized balance training programs. Reduce your chance for falls and regain your confidence this winter by calling 308-872-5800 for a free fall risk assessment with one of our therapists. That's Pearson Physical Therapy at 872-5800 in Broken Bow.
They're all the rage. Bardominiums, Schausses, whatever you call them. Ansley Lumber and Supply offers everything you need to construct your own pole building, post frame building, or barn. They have exclusive access to interactive visualizers, 3D designers, and a price estimator. This means you know what your project will look like and approximately what it will cost. The best part? The whole complete package can be dropped to your site with everything you need. Get your dream home started on Main Street in Ansley at Ansley Lumber and Supply.
There are many good reasons to pre-select your family memorial. During the months of January and February, Palmer Monument Company is giving you one more good reason: their annual winter sale. Come and see them today with the coupon from the newspaper and receive additional savings off their already reduced prices.
Hi, this is Chris Smith with the Palmer Monument Company. It's our goal to assist you in selecting the memorial that best fits your family needs. And with our sale, we'll save you money too.
During the annual winter sale at Palmer Monument Company in Lexington and Broken Bow.
The Breakfast Show.
Don't know what I'd do without them. They're awesome.
On KCNI KBBN.
And Brent actually had a couple calls while he was out in the lobby. So what's up, Brent?
Well, we just want to let you know, Dave, that visitation for Bill Williams tonight, that they have canceled the visitation.
All right.
Okay. It's our understanding the memorial service is still scheduled for tomorrow, 11 a.m. on Saturday, January 21st, but they have canceled the visitation that was to be held at the United Methodist Church tonight. So that's been canceled, but the memorial service scheduled for 11 a.m. on Saturday for Bill Williams of Broken Bow.
All right. Thank you very much. Also want to thank our sponsors, Custer Public Power, Ansley Lumber, Hunter's Towing and Repair, Taylor Heating and Cooling, and Fixed Right Auto Body for taking us all the way through the last couple of days with updates. And Brent Apperson has his fancy little laptop with a little stand there in front of him, and he's going to pass along information to you. A lot of schools closed, as you might suspect, and a few other details as well.
Yeah, let's see. Let's do the refresh thing, and here's what we show. Anselma Myrna Public Schools closed today. Ansley Public Schools are closed. Arcadia showing a late start at 10 o'clock this morning. That's for Arcadia Public Schools. Arnold schools are closed today. Blaine County Courthouse in Brewster is closed. Broken Bow Public Schools are closed today. Bruning Bank in Broken Bow planning to open at 10 o'clock today. Burwell Public Schools showing a 10 o'clock start, late start, 10 o'clock, no morning Calamus Kids preschool. There will be afternoon Calamus Kids preschool, it says. That's for Burwell Public Schools. Let's see. Litchfield Public Schools are closed today. No school in Litchfield. Loup County Public Schools in Taylor are closed. The Nebraska State Bank showing a 10 o'clock open today. Prairie Pioneer Center in Broken Bow closed today. No home deliveries. Sandhills Public Schools in Dunning are closed today. Sargent Public Schools are closed. And SEM Public Schools are closed. Also, I would direct you, if you need to know more information about all of these activities schools obviously had planned but now can't because of the weather situation. If you're interested in what's happening with those activities, go to the school's website. I know a lot of the schools are trying to update the activity schedule to keep you up to date on what's happening with some things that were not able to take place this week. So,
all right. Good advice. Also, be sure and go to the 511 website and take a look at road conditions before you decide to take that trip. I know you mentioned earlier on the way out this morning you noticed a lot of traffic out there. People are only good for staying. Everybody wants to stay at home. I want to go home. And then when they're at home for a day or two kind of locked in, they just got to get out. And there's a lot of things going on with cleanup and people trying to get to work and all that sort of thing. So be careful out there as you do drive. And again, some, narrow passes out there. And some of those may still be treacherous, as they described it yesterday, depending on which direction you're going. So check that 511 website. You can do that by going to sandhillsexpress.com and clicking on the weather tab. I know that it's a great site. Now, it's not always current. I mean, things change, but it'll give you an idea as to what the road conditions may be and the direction you're headed.
Yeah, and load up their app on your phone. It's a great app. Yeah, in fact, I'm looking at it right now, and it's still showing, what I'm looking at anyway, it is still showing that basically every major roadway in and out of Broken Bow is still showing travel not advised.
Yeah,
so
don't want to be out there. And it's going to be, another full day of clean out, if not more, to make those to where you really are, comfortable going down the roadway. They may be packed for a while. Sun's going to be out. We got a clear sky, but the snow has to be cleared first, and that is a big job, as we mentioned, with 22, 25 inches of snow piled up in big piles. So that's our sermon for today.
There you go.
Good morning to Mary Ann. She says, good morning. Hope you are all dug out from all your snow. We only got a few inches up here. 7 was predicted, but we got about 5. And Mary Ann, that's kind of the way it's been working here up until the last couple days. We would get a prediction and the snow would stop just to the west of us or go south or north of us. But this time around, if you look at the map that was posted on Sandhills Express Facebook, we are the red dot.
Yeah, we were right in the middle of this one, man.
So our turn, Mary Ann, our turn. Couple of birthdays here to celebrate. I don't have any local. I do have a belated birthday to Eugene Andre, who celebrated a birthday yesterday, and we got busy and I forgot to mention that. But Eugene, happy birthday to you as of yesterday. He's a little older. Bill Maher is 67 today. Now, this is one of the guys you either really are okay with or maybe you are not at all. He's a talk host, longtime host of Real Time with Bill Maher. And he also hosted Politically Incorrect and was on Comedy Central for a while. Buzz Aldrin, astronaut who was considered one of the greatest of all time as far as, well, he walked on the moon, for heaven's sakes. He's 93 today. And Brantley Gilbert is 38 today, country singer-songwriter, released 6 albums and has had 4 #1 country hits. Happy birthday to Brantley Gilbert. Also a note, yesterday it was announced that David Crosby passed away from a long illness. And, of course, he was with the Byrds, founded the Byrds group back in the 60s. And, of course, he was with Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, but they didn't always get along, and I think the last several years they just said, Dave, you're just too tough to handle anymore. And there was a documentary on it. It was kind of sad that they just had tried to work with David Crosby, but there was just too much friction there. But his wife said he passed away at his home and made a lot of great music.
Yeah. Can I add a birthday?
Sure.
This is tomorrow, not today, but tomorrow. A little girl by the name of Paisley Brown is celebrating her birthday tomorrow. So Pappy says happy birthday to Paisley. Hope you have a good day tomorrow.
Happy birthday, Paisley. 10 minutes before the hour, we're going to play the game. We're not going to do any school lunch menus, of course, because not many schools, well, there are some that have 10 o'clock starts in and around the area, but for the most part in our area, a lot of classes canceled. Yep. So we'll just skip that for today. And again, check those websites for your schools because they're going to be changing things up, as Brent mentioned, to make up some activities that they missed. And some of the ball games may or may not be made up, all those sorts of things. So here's Brent with the question for the day, a chance to win a prize.
All right, here we go. We're going to give you a chance to win a 6-inch sub at Subway. And here's your question. It has to do with Kiss, the band.
Right. Yeah.
50 years ago, January 30th, 1973, Kiss played their first show at the Coventry Club in Queens, New York. So here's your question for today. What instrument does Gene Simmons play in the band? What instrument does Gene Simmons play? Lead guitar, rhythm guitar, bass guitar, or the drums? What does Gene Simmons play in the band Kiss? Lead guitar, rhythm guitar, bass, or drums? If you know, call us at 872-2801.
A new year. Same great service and products at Varney Health Mart in Broken Bow. Centrum multivitamin tablets in 120 count for men or women are $11.49. Save on Century 50 Plus for men or women in a 100 count for $7.49. Century 120 count multivitamins are $7.99. Vitamin B12 is available in a variety of strengths and counts as well. Varney Health Mart, downtown Broken Bow. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Now, more than ever, your cattle need to work. From breeding to calving, to grazing, to weaning, and beyond. Count on Ritter Hereford bulls and heifers to improve your herd and your bottom line. 90 bulls, 75 heifers will sell at the ranch and online February 2nd, 1 p.m. For that reputation half-circle brand of growth and carcass traits, easy calving, and super dispositions, buy Ritter Herefords. February 2nd, Callaway.
And we have Billy on the line. Good morning, Billy.
Good morning, Dave.
Did you stay inside and stay warm and safe?
Yeah, I did, and I didn't scoop my walk, and I talked to your wife this morning for a little bit.
You did? What was she up to?
Well, she's worried about her one cat. She said she can't find it.
I know. She's up most of the night checking outside, Billy. She's kind of upset. I hope it comes back.
I cheered her up, I think, a little bit.
Oh, good. Well, we appreciate that. All right, here's your question.
Okay, Billy, what instrument does Gene Simmons play in the band Kiss? Is it lead guitar, rhythm guitar, bass guitar, or drums?
I'm going to say lead guitar.
No, he's the one that kind of sets the rhythm with the big guitar. Let's see. Well, it's not lead guitar. So
would it be rhythm guitar?
Well, you're getting closer.
You're getting closer, Billy. What's the other guitar?
Oh.
Keep
Name
going.
it again.
Okay, here's your choices. I can tell you it's a guitar. Okay?
It's only got 4 strings.
So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Here's your choices. Bass guitar or drums?
Bass guitar?
You got it, buddy.
I got a bunch of prizes I got to pick up for him.
Yeah, you do, Billy. You got another one, too, now.
I know. When I get out there, I'll pick them up, but I gotta get out there. Maybe next week I can do it.
Okay.
Yeah, or I tell you what, Billy, if you want, I'll try to just get them together. I have a feeling I might see you at a ball game down the road.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Tuesday night and watch the Broken Bow girls play. And the girls asked me the other night, "When are you gonna go to a road game?" And I said, "Well, when the doctor said I can." Well, but I went to a wrestling meet the other night. It was last week when they beat Gothenburg and Valentine.
I saw you there. Yeah, that was fun, wasn't it?
Guess who I sit by? Carly.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
He's a Cowboys fan.
Oh, geez.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, and I'm a Bears fan.
Uh-huh.
He thinks they should change teams, so says, "You're not going to get me to change from the Bears to the Cowboys. I'm always going to be a Bears fan." That's me, you, and Jeremy are Bears fans.
That's right, Billy.
And
That's
I'm not
right.
changing.
No way. Hey, by the way, I got to tell you, did you get that Bears hat for Christmas? That Bears hat you were wearing?
Yeah, Mike gave me that.
Oh, man, I was jealous. That's a nice hat.
Yeah, I still got it, and it's kind of my favorite cap because I wear it to therapy every day, and it makes Nathan Scott mad. He wants me to change from the Bears to the Packers. I says, "No, I'm not changing teams."
That's right, Billy.
So, all right, you guys have a good day.
Thanks
Billy.
Billy. You too.
Take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye. 7:55 is your time. As I look through the window, kind of across the room here, I see some snowplow lights, flashing lights going back and forth. So they're working the highways, but as Brent mentioned, they're still talking about travel not advisable in our area going any direction out of town. Highway 70, 21, 2, certainly 92 is always risky. And, they were closed all the way up into the Sandhills on 2. And so, if we can just be patient and wait and let the guys and gals get their work done a little bit here today, then maybe we can start going to some of those destinations. But in the meantime, hang loose, right?
Yeah.
Take it easy. get that cabin fever, start pacing back and forth in the living room and looking out the window. TV, you realize, is really not that good. And you turn on the radio, dance with your partner there in the kitchen.
Yeah. I'd like to know how many people fell asleep watching TV last night. I'm going to raise my hand.
I'll raise my hand.
I got home, got done scooping, and ate supper, sat down like, let's watch TV. Yeah. So I'm into a show, and next thing I know, the show's over, and I have no idea how it ended.
That's what snow will do to you. And I bet there's a lot of people out there that maybe slept really good last night after moving snow, or maybe stood in the shower a while and let that hot water run on you for a while because you're working some parts of your body that you don't always work. And again, as our therapists who come in, physical therapists come in, say, take it easy, take some breaks. Doesn't even hurt if you can kind of warm up a little bit before you just tear into scooping out there. I know that sounds a little bit extreme, but it's not really. I mean, athletes always warm up before they go out and do things that they do quite often. We don't scoop very often, so we'll want to just kind of be careful out there. It is 3 minutes before the hour, just enough time to play some Merle here on The Breakfast Show.
Schedule an appointment today. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
It is 4 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock, 4 degrees above zero, clear sky. Winds are not affected. They're kind of variable this morning, but I have to believe maybe the wind indicator might be a little stiff this morning. Barometric pressure is at 30.17 and leveling off and steady there now. Humidity at 89%. Our high yesterday was 35, an overnight low of 3 degrees. Sunrise this morning at 8 o'clock, so it's been up for 4 minutes. Sunset today at 5:35, make that 5:38, correction there. 2 inches and 1600ths precipitation measured so far this month, and a good 22 inches or more of snowfall here at KCNI KBBN transmitter site studios. And we know that there's people out there that are either side of 25 inches out there, and 18, 19, 17, a lot of those reported. So lots of snow out there. Be careful, please. That's a look at the weather. Brent's looking at his fancy gadget there. What does it tell you?
All right, here's your announcements that we have for you at this time. And some Smyrna Public Schools are closed today. Ansley schools are closed. Arcadia Public Schools are going to go with a 10 o'clock start today. Says buses will run on paved roads only. So Arcadia going to go with a 10 o'clock start. Arnold Public Schools are closed today. Blaine County Courthouse in Brewster is closed. Broken Bow Public Schools are closed today as well. Bruning Bank in Broken Bow planning to open at 10 o'clock this morning. Burwell Public Schools showing a 10 o'clock start. No morning Calamus Kids Preschool at Burwell, but the afternoon Calamus Kids Preschool will take place. So again, Burwell Public Schools, 10 o'clock start today. Litchfield Public Schools, no school today. No school at Litchfield. No school today at Loup County Public Schools in Taylor. Nebraska State Bank showing a 10 o'clock open for today. Ord Public Schools showing a 10 o'clock start. Overton saying a late start. Buses will run where possible. Prairie Pioneer Center in Broken Bow is closed today. No home deliveries. No school today at Sandhills in Dunning. No school at Sargent Public Schools today. And SEM Public Schools are also closed today.
All right, thank you very much. And again, thank you to our sponsors, Custer Public Power, Ansley Lumber, Hunter's Towing and Repair, Taylor Heating and Cooling, and Fixed Right Auto Body. If you're wondering why the pauses were there, the list is on the wall, and it's just far enough away that I can't read it. So I should have those memorized by now, actually.
Yeah.
They've been so good about bringing those reports your way. Okay, let's see here. Oh, we are going to try to catch up a little bit today on our singing along with Blake Shelton and Brent Amperson. And see if we can get some more people registered for a chance to have a good time in Lincoln on February 16th, going to a Blake Shelton concert. And you'll be on the second row on the floor and also have $250 cash, well, a card that you can use, up to $250 to help pay your expenses to get to the show and back home. And it's all brought to you by some great businesses, including the Grocery Cart, Full Circle Irrigation, Henry's Callaway Bar, Ollie's Coffee and Boutique and Sargent, Lyons Appliance, and Power Solutions. And we'll be talking a little bit later on to a comedian who will be performing along with others at Henry's Callaway Bar, I believe, this weekend.
I think so, yeah. Gary Mankey, I believe, is his last name.
Yep,
that we'll be visiting with.
Yep, he's been on with us before, I think, when they were performing in Sargent a year or so ago, during the pandemic, I think.
Yep.
So he's familiar with the area, and he's coming back to make people laugh along with some other comedians this weekend at Henry's Callaway Bar. So we'll find out more about that. Boy, oh boy. It's just so nice to look outside and see that blue sky, isn't it?
It is nice, yes. Always good to see the sun.
Here's Roseanne Cash on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show on a Friday. Also received a note here in our chat box from Pearl. Says, I'm settling here, writing down recipes, listening to your show, and now there's no sound. My guess is you might be watching it then on Facebook Live or YouTube or one of those video streaming methods, which is great. If you want to look at two guys that don't look good, that's the way to do it. And the really nice thing about Facebook is when the guests come in, you can see our guests and so forth and watch the show. The downside with that is that we cannot stream video when we're playing music. And I think here's an example. What happens came out of a song going into the news and didn't switch it back to where it's feeding audio. And that happens quite a bit because, it's a human mistake by Dave Burney. Sometimes you forget to switch it back. So consistently, if you want to listen to the audio and you're doing it via the internet or with your cell phone, kbbn.com or kcni1280.com is audio only, and we pay for royalties on that. They let us pay for royalties on that. We can't even pay royalties on Facebook. They just want you to shut it off, or they'll shut you off. The bottom line is, if you don't want to have the sound interrupted, you can listen online at those apps. They're free. You can download them. You can put them on your computer and listen without interruption. But if you watch it, then when we play music, it's going to be muted, and then sometimes we forget for a little while to turn it back on. That's the honest truth. That's just the way it is.
There you go.
We'll be right back after these words.
MyPillow is always looking for ways to solve everyday problems. Introducing a 6-piece towel set that includes 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, and 2 washcloths. Right now, you can receive a 6-piece set for only $39.98 with promo code SKY. MyPillow products come with a 10-year warranty and have a 60-day money-back guarantee. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener special, and enter promo code SKY. Or call 800-635-1825. That's MyPillow.com, promo code SKY.
Are you more than $10,000 in debt? Feel like you're on a never-ending treadmill, staying in one place and never getting ahead with those minimum payments? You feel like there's no way out? Get off the endless debt treadmill and start saving money each month. There are programs in place to help you get free of your debt, and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. The program at Total Financial Freedom can help you get debt-free in months instead of decades. Call Total Financial now at 800-208-1312. 800-208-1312.
8:15 is your time, and our time too.
It's time to find another finalist for the Blake Shelton floor tickets and money. You only have to register once to be in the drawing.
The number to call is 872-2801. All you have to do is call in, sing along with Brent just a little bit and Blake Shelton, and then you're registered for a chance to win those tickets. 872-2801. This time around, the call-in is brought to you by Ollie's Coffee House and Boutique, and I hope someone will call because I really feel like singing along too.
Oh, wow.
This morning, and having a trio.
Ah.
So call us at 872-2801, and we'll pull off a trio together. And I would, if I had a chance to pick, I would pick Sangria. But your choices,
of course you would.
Your choices are Neon Light, Sangria, and Come Back as a Country Boy. Now, hands down, Come Back as a Country Boy has been the favorite for people to sing along with. But just as an example, wouldn't it be so much fun to sing along with this?
You take my hand in yours, you lean in, and your lips taste like sangria.
Yeah! Oh, boy.
Oh.
Yeah.
How was that?
Interesting.
All right.
I don't know. There's just something about singing with you and then getting to the line, your lips taste like sangria. It makes me uncomfortable.
I don't know why we had a pajama party, an overnighter.
Well, yeah, we did spend the night together, didn't we?
In separate rooms.
Yes.
All right, we're going to hear from Ollie's Coffee House and Boutique and see if we can get a call. If we don't, we'll try again later.
Main Street Sargent is a happening place, and your friends at Ollie's Coffee and Boutique want to see you sometime soon. Make sure you swing by their Facebook page to see all the fun they have going on. When you come through the door, you can shop, sip a coffee, a smoothie, or tea, relax and read, play games, let the kids explore the kids area, and more. The boutique has a great selection of gifts, home decor, and of course, clothing. Open Monday to Friday, 8 to 5:30, and Saturday, 9 to 5, closed Sunday. Ollie's Coffee and Boutique in Sargent.
All right, we'll try that later in the show. In the meantime, I want to talk a little bit about some job opportunities that are available that Brent has. We can divide those up if you like, Brent. We don't have to do them all now. One of the ones that I think is really an interesting job opportunity is somebody out there that likes kids, likes to read, likes to spend time with people. That would be a job through the Broken Bow Library.
Absolutely, yes. Broken Bow Public Library is looking for someone to fill this role. This position provides children's services and manages the children's library in direct cooperation with the library director. They're looking for a full-time children's services assistant. This job would also require strong verbal, written, and interpersonal skills, and preferably a 2-year or 4-year college degree. Requires a basic knowledge of modern librarianship principles and practices, especially in the field of children's services, and the ability to attain a public librarian certificate, wage dependent on qualifications, and a better-than-average benefit package. Applications and job descriptions are available at the city clerk's office in Broken Bow, located on the main floor at 314 South 10th Avenue, or you can visit the city's website, which is simply cityofbrokenbow.org. You can submit the application and related information to the city of Broken Bow. Now, if you'd like more information about the position itself, you can contact Library Director Megan Swoboda at 872-2927. Do
you have any other jobs that you'd like to offer?
Yeah.
Well, I guess you're not offering them, but you know.
Yeah. Let's do one more here. Central Nebraska Community Action Partnership is looking for an individual to work as an infant toddler teacher center specialist. 40 hours per week, year-round in Broken Bow. Good starting wage of $19 to $21 per hour, depending on qualifications. Great benefits. They are looking for someone with their Child Development Associate Certificate, an associate's or bachelor's degree in early childhood education, and would prefer experience working with infants and toddlers, income-qualifying families, and past supervisory experience. This individual would be responsible for center coordination, supervision, and teaching. If you need an application or more information about the position, contact CNCAP Human Resource Department at 745-0780. The extension is 0. Or you can simply apply online by going to centralnebraskacap.com.
Thank you, Brent. We'll have some Leonard Skinnard for you right after these words.
The 2023 celebration savings continue at the Secret Garden. Save a minimum of 23% and up to 60% on all Secret Garden inventory this Friday from 11:30 to 4:30 and Saturday 8:30 to 4:30. Psalm 3, verse 3. You, O Lord, are a shield around me. You are my glory, the one who holds my head high. The Secret Garden, located 2 1/4 miles west of Myrna on Highway 92 and a half a mile north, save between 23 and 60% this Friday and Saturday. The Secret Garden.
Boots, boots, boots. Can you tell it's all about boots this week at Bow Bootery? We love boots so much it's in our name. We love you so much we've marked them down 25%. Save on fashion boots, bear paws, and snow boots and enjoy them right now in the cold months. Comfort, style, warmth, heels or flats, black, brown, tan, or green. No matter what boot you're looking for, we want to help you find it. 25% off fashion boots, bear paws, and snow boots this week at Bow Bootery on the Square.
The Callaway Good Life Center offers a facility with the comforts of home. Services include skilled nursing care, long-term care, respite care, and more. Callaway Good Life Center is a great place to work, offering competitive wages. Call 836-2267 for more information.
You're waking up with The Breakfast Show. KCNI, KBBN Radio.
I love it. Leonard Skinnard is what we promised. I was going to go with Crossroads, but I'm thinking I'm thinking Sweet Home Alabama.
Singing songs about The other night, everybody there was there. I said over and over and over again, this dance is gonna be a drag. I said over and over and over again, this dance.
The Dave Clark 5 on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Good to have you along. It's 8:30. You're listening to KCNI KBBN Radio, Broken Bow, Nebraska. And we have Rick Nelson with us here in the, well, not in the studio. He's in his good-looking office there, and we're in our studio. Rick, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good.
I'm doing great. How about you guys?
We have no complaints. We're here. It's warm. It's safe. And the electricity is on.
Yeah.
Yes. How are the blow-up mattresses?
Well, they varied in quality.
Mine was good. My air mattress stayed, kept air in it all night. Dave and especially Jeremy's, I mean, I think he was sleeping on the floor by the time he woke up.
Yeah. You just can't feel that happening. It just, all of a sudden, the floor gets hard.
Yeah. Well,
I've been there.
Yeah, and he was sleeping so hard, he didn't know he was on a hard floor, so it worked out pretty good. How's things at Custer Public Power? I know that, we really got fortunate in a way with this storm. Let's start with the positive side of it, Rick.
Yeah, so as everybody knows, we got a lot of snow. We didn't get the ice beforehand. Had some wind, and so that's a better combination than what we've had in the past. And so we had a couple of outages on Wednesday, and then early Thursday morning we had an outage, and it took us a while to get there. I think we started, I don't know, it was way early on Thursday morning. It was a circuit out of Ansley, and so we went down when we could actually get there on the roads, and they opened it up. Got down, and it was a jumper that burned up. So, and in our total 8,000 square miles, those were the only outages we had. So that's a positive. Everybody should have power. So if they don't, make sure you're calling in. But everybody should have power. Everything should be good. We had that little hiccup southeast of Ansley, and guys went down and got that back on early yesterday morning. So just want to really appreciate all the kudos and all the thank yous we get from all of our customers. It's pretty heartwarming and just kind of makes you have a good feeling when you have that many thank yous and for all the guys' hard work. So
yeah. Well, when you look outside and you see that 22 to 25 inches of snow sitting on the ground, and a lot of it in big piles, you just have to wonder how do you guys get to a spot? I mean, if it's on a pole or it's a line or it's a substation, when you have 25 inches of snow piled up in big piles and waist deep
and drifts.
Would you guys take equipment along with you to move snow, or how do you make sure you can get in?
Well, most of the time, so this previous storm, we actually had to follow the county around in both Custer County and I think Loup County. Just follow the plow. This time down in Ansley, on that one outage that we went on, we just took the side-by-side down and was able to get there. So, it's pretty daunting. So we did close, just a side note, I don't mean to get off of that subject, but we did close the office about 2 o'clock on Wednesday. I wanted to make sure that there wasn't a lot going on. There wasn't a lot of outages. There wasn't any outages going on. And so I wanted to make sure that everybody got home. Everybody got home except, I think, 2 that got stuck on the way home. But in my career over the last 20 years, that's only the second time that I've closed the office, whether that was partial day or a full day. So that's kind of remarkable, but I just want to make sure that all the employees got home and all the outposts.
Well, I was go ahead, Rick. I'm sorry.
Well, I just wanted to go off of your big snow pile comment. So there's a little bit of a safety concern when we're talking about big piles of snow, especially when it's close to power lines. Remembering when I was a kid, where do you want to be? You want to be at the top of that snow pile. And since we have this much snow and you've seen the snow piles and how big they are, just try not to pile that next to a power line, next to a service, next to your service, next to a pole, because kids are kids and they'll climb up and want to be at the top of that pile. So I'm just throwing that out there as a caution. Watch out for and just make sure you're diligent and where you're piling that snow.
Yeah, really didn't think about the dangers of kids climbing up a hill. I mean, when you're that age, that's what you're going to do when you see that big pile of snow. And
100%. Yeah.
And if next to a pole, that is, I'm glad you brought that up, something that a lot of us wouldn't think about. And if it did happen that somebody did pile up some snow to a pole out there of some sort with electricity on it, then it's due diligence to make sure the kids know they're not supposed to go up there until you can get it moved, right?
It just makes me nervous. It's the same way with, whether we're talking about a snow pile or a farmer rancher stacking up some hay bales next to the line. It's that same. Let's make sure we look up and we know where we're stacking stuff, where we're piling snow. It may be the most convenient for you, but it also may not be the safest for everybody else. So
that's a good point.
Just wanted to throw that out there since we were talking about piles of snow.
Yeah. Well, the predictions were well ahead. We had a good chance to plan for this, and we all seem to doubt the weather guys and gals every once in a while when we have those predictions, because we've been talking about this morning, Rick. We've kind of been that hole in the coverage where they've been predicting blizzards and snow, and it goes south of us, north of us, or stops just to the west of us. And this time around, they were right on with their predictions. We had plenty of time to plan.
Yep.
And so that really helps. But again, that gives us a chance to kind of readdress what we might have discovered or already knew, was that we need to be ready for the power to go out, even though you guys work 24 hours a day to make sure our power is consistent and on. When it goes off, we need things like, water ahead and that sort of thing.
Yeah. So, yeah, you're right on, Dave. We didn't have power outages like, and typically we don't during a snowstorm, even if the wind blows. The more cold it is outside, and the better off we are. So if it's snowing and cold, it's usually a good sign for us. If it's 32 degrees and snowing, then it's not a good sign. But, paying attention to. We were certainly in the bullseye this time. It's we got most of it, and some of those. So when we're moving into that, I know we put stuff on Facebook to get ready, charge your phone, put water in your tub, get jugs of water, get prepared for what might happen. If you live out in the country, maybe find a place in town to stay at. So we need to make sure that we're staying on top of that, and on top of that warning, even if it is just a warning. And so that, I go back to your statement. This one actually came true. They don't always come true, and there's reasons for that. But sometimes we can't. We don't know what those reasons are. But anyway, I'm just rambling.
No. I wanted to ask you.
Let's stay safe.
Okay. Yeah. I also wanted to ask, after a storm like this, and maybe not this one so much, because we were fortunate. We have 22 to 25 inches of snow on the ground, but it wasn't one of those storms that stuck, like started building up like some of them do that are wetter, or like this last one before this one, we had all of that ice ahead of time. And I know that makes you not sleep at night when they start talking about X amount of ice buildup before the snow comes. And this time around, it didn't stick. But following a storm like this, once things are cleared out, how do you assess if everything's okay? I mean, is there do you go out and do spot checks, or is it through your computers, or how do you kind of follow up and see if there was any damage? We didn't have a lot of wind this time either, which helped, but typically after a hard storm, you know that it stresses things. How do you guys maybe follow up on that?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. So there's a lot of snow out there. There's a lot of snow that's being moved, and so we can't get everywhere. But we really appreciate the phone calls that we get from our customers out there, saying, "Hey, this doesn't look right. Can you come look at it?" And then we drop everything, or try to drop everything, and come and look at it. We get a lot of phone calls where this wire's not attached to the pole. Well, that's, let's go get that taken care of. So I just want to start off by saying thank you to all the customers who report that kind of stuff. Not only report it, but then stay away from it. Because that's a good way for us to get out and use the eyes of our customers, and that just helps a lot. So the other thing is we have a yearly rotation of patrol in line, part of our maintenance activity. And, after a storm, it's kind of hard to go out and visually see everything because you really want to, stay on the roads. You don't want to get off and get stuck somewhere. But the other tools that we have are electronic, and so we are monitoring voltage and monitoring amperage and loading almost 24/7. We have devices out there that keep track of little blips. We have devices that keep track of voltage swings. I know that the guys are probably looking at what we call SCADA right now, which is supervisory control and data acquisition. So a lot of information is coming in through fiber, coming in over the airwaves, and the guys are looking at that right now to see any anomalies that might be out there. I know a lot of times we'll see stuff before the customer sees stuff, and so that's part of our everyday routine, and that's kind of what they'll be doing, today, yesterday, and today. So.
Okay. All right. I think customers probably wonder, about follow-up on that. It sounds like you have that covered. So the storm is past. We're going to be digging out. Let's not pile up snow next to power poles. And let's look forward down the road here and maybe move away from the storm for a little bit. Is there anything else this morning that you wanted to highlight? I know tomorrow they're going to be having the Scenic Byway gathering. And they're going to have a special speaker concerning maybe some speculation as to what they would like to do up at the Halsey Forest and Park there. And that's going to be interesting. I know that's close to you, and I don't know if that's something that you have talked about with your board. Maybe you've had a board meeting since the storm or one coming up. Just kind of give us an overview of what's coming up in your life of meetings that you go. You go to all kinds of meetings. You're at all kinds of meetings, Rick. But
so you know what time of year it is. Do you want me to get started on what's going on in Lincoln yet, or should we hold off a couple of weeks?
Well, I just read the other day about how many bills have been introduced since the session started. My gosh, that's got to be mind-boggling, isn't it?
I think somebody needs to come up with a rule that they have to cut those off at, say, 10, 15. Shucks, even 50 would kind of control it a little bit, but
yeah. So
what a pain.
Anything that's been introduced or being worked on that is in your wheelhouse as far as power goes.
Well, we're still kind of, so the last day to drop bills was on Wednesday, and so we're still evaluating. I got a meeting today to kind of go through a laundry list. I think there's over 100 on our list that we're looking at, and it's kind of all over the board. So we'll kind of see what happens. From the 4-H standpoint, I know there's been a bill introduced to show support for the 4-H camp up at Halsey. Following that, pretty close. That 4-H camp, of course, is pretty near and dear to my heart. It's near and dear to Custer's heart. Everybody at Custer, we've been involved with that since day one, long time ago. Have helped out when we can and what we can do up there at Halsey Camp whenever. And so we'll certainly be tracking what's going on at Halsey. We really want that 4-H camp back there. We want kids to continue going to 4-H in Halsey, and so we're watching that.
All right. Well, I think a lot of people. It's near and dear to almost everyone because of, I don't know, going up and cutting Christmas trees to going up and having a picnic. You used to swim in the pool there and, take hikes in the park. And everybody has memories of the largest man-made forest in the world is right there on the Sandhills. So we'll have to see what happens. I know we were visiting with Linda Tion earlier, and she was alluding to the fact that even though this snow is a real pain for everybody, it's exactly what they needed up there at the forest to kind of wet things down and get that cover, and at least get off on a good start this spring to take a look at things.
Yep.
All right. Okay.
Absolutely. So the other thing is we do have a board meeting coming up next week. It's our annual meeting. So we'll be talking about actually for everybody, it's probably kind of boring, but we'll be talking about membership and some of the state organizations that we belong to, some of the national organizations. We'll be talking about the dues and all that. We'll also be administering an oath for 2 directors. Pretty excited about that. Reviewing some personnel policies. The board does that on an annual basis, and so we'll take a deep dive into that and make sure that everything is still good to go there. And we will be approving the what we call a rate book, rate schedules for 2023 at this board meeting to go into effect, I believe, February 1st or March 1st, one or the other. I think it's February 1st. There is no increase in revenue for the 4th year, I believe, in a row for Custer. And so pretty proud of that. We're living within our means and doing what we can to manage that best we can. So pretty excited about that. There are some slight changes in some of the rate schedules, but from a revenue standpoint, we're not planning on it. In other words, there's no rate increase.
Right.
Kind of what I'm getting at.
Yeah, which is what they want to hear out there right now with the cost of everything else that is up, and with inflation and all. It's an outstanding announcement because, I know you've been telling us that, but I think most people would still wonder, well, with the way things are going and with the cost increases of materials and so forth and the whole labor situation, I don't know that they'd be that surprised that you'd have to change things up a little bit. But that's a pretty great announcement in today's world.
Yeah, so we're pretty proud of that. And, there are a lot of inputs that are going up, but then there are some that are not. And some of those inputs are not a big contributor to the bottom line, and some are.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're still sitting good, and of course, I talk about this all the time, but we look at a 5-year and a 10-year and a 20-year financial forecast, and those all still look good, even with a little inflationary perspective in some line items. But now we're sitting quite well at this point, and
right.
So financially sound and looking into the future. So
okay,
pretty
now,
happy.
Question with the budget, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, because this would be, I guess, somewhat controversial.
Yep.
But you're always willing, you're always transparent, you're always willing to answer a question as best you can. Are you going to, in your budget, or is it in your budget to provide airbeds for the people who have to stay overnight at your establishment? Do you provide the airbeds, or is that something they have to bring on their own?
That's funny, Dave. No, we don't. But
I think Rick just got stumped. I don't think he knows how to answer this question.
Well,
I don't know. Maybe
I don't know which direction to go. That's the problem.
Well, let me just take you a direction, and maybe I don't know this. Maybe you have a big room in the shop back there with bunk beds, and you provide snacks and popcorn and bunk beds. I don't know.
Back in the day, we used to have showers, and I don't know where they slept, but we used to have showers.
Wow.
We've taken those out because that's an original REA
Mm-hmm.
Rural Electric Association design, is to have showers in your headquarters, and so but we've taken those out. I think we have the ability to get people to someplace in town. Well, maybe we don't. But,
well, depending on the storm. Well,
yeah, exactly.
I doubt your guys.
I can't believe you guys. Stayed at the radio station.
Well,
hunkered down.
It was that, or lay in bed all night wondering whether you're going to be able to get to do your job like you should do under those circumstances. So you do what you have to do, and I know that your guys, your crews, if they're out working, you leave them out till they're as long as they can be safe, and then you bring them in when you can, and send them back out early the next day. So they can get a little rest. I think people understand that under those circumstances, and all kidding aside, you're out there in the cold. You're working on very dangerous equipment that can become dangerous if you don't handle it right. You don't want to be real tired and sleepy. So a little break there, a little sleep in between's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. Oh boy, when it's cold out and you got all those clothes on, it's a real drain on the body, and everybody knows that. You spend a lot of time outside, and you almost feel more tired just going out and walking around and doing something than you do maybe in the summertime. But trying to get those guys some breaks is what we try to do. And we're not to the point of getting air beds and putting them in the back. Sorry about that. But.
Oh, man. We can recommend, out of our 3 that we had here, 2 out of 3 perform well. So if you decide that the board has a big meeting and they discuss we need to get air beds for our guys and gals who might have to stay overnight so they can make sure to be there, would you're welcome to get our opinion on which air beds would work best for you.
Air bed.
Yeah.
So what I heard is that 66% of the beds won't work.
Only Rick, you could figure that so fast.
That's a manager talking right there. There's a guy who deals with numbers every day. Always wants to put it into a percentage.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And around here we just say, shipes didn't hold air. So,
oh shoot!
Everybody does what they need to do under these circumstances. Rick, I know you know that and you talked about following the county around last time to be able to get to some of those places you needed to get. If everybody chips in and does their job, these things aren't as bad as they could be, right?
No, and I'm thankful we live where we live, because people are just that way, and it's. I'll say it again. It's heartwarming to have that much hometown feel and want to get out and help everybody out. It's a great feeling.
Well, we appreciate your time. We're going to let you go, but I did want to say, since we can see you, you look marvelous with that suit coat on. I don't know that it was necessary for you to wear a suit coat today on Friday following a storm, but way to go, man.
It's my normal attire. It's all about you, Dave.
Oh, thanks a lot.
It really is. Brent, not so much, but you.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
Well, let's get back together next time and dive in a little deeper on some of the things that are coming up in the future, maybe some projects and so forth. But let's kind of take a big breath and be thankful for you guys doing your job, and thankful for Mother Nature not doing too much of her job, right?
Absolutely.
All right, Rick.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate it.
Yep, take care.
You bet.
All right, Rick Nelson heads up Custer Public Power. Big controversy there. Do they provide air beds for their employees to stay overnight during storms? And if they do, what brand do they purchase, and what is the budgetary requirements of that?
Wow.
And in the testing here at KCNI KBBN, as Rick would only be able to decipher in a short period of time, 66% of the airbeds worked here overnight, night before last.
Yes.
And so 66% is the number we're going to base our decision on if we actually decide to buy and provide airbeds for our employees here so they don't have to drag them from home. You think that would be a nice courtesy.
Well, you would think.
Of course, we'd have to store them somewhere, and there'd be a storage cost then.
To the employee. But you still have to bring your own blankets. That's what we really need to get out here is blankets, because I got to tell you, man, I was freezing. I found out that just one blanket out here isn't going to do the job.
Well,
because Dave is only going to set the heat at a certain spot.
Well, that's what Rick taught me.
He ain't cranking it up.
Rick taught me you go 68 or you're late, man. You don't go above 68, do you, Rick?
No.
He's still
62 at my place.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my goodness. Don't tell Dave that.
62. I'd like the sounds of that. What are those blankets that they kind of space age? They're aluminum foil looking, that you use in real frigid conditions. You know what I'm talking about? They look like...
I don't know what you're talking about.
I do, Dave.
Oh.
You know the description of those?
I don't. I can see it in my head, but
me too.
I have no idea what they are.
They look like they would be maybe on Star Trek if you were on a ship and you got left on a really cold island.
Mountain climbers do that.
Yeah, those are the ones the mountain climbers use.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So, well, if they're not too expensive, we could budget those out over a 5-year period.
Yeah. I'd probably light a fire under Brent.
That's a big job.
I know.
Rick, thanks a lot.
Don't take that out of context now.
No, we wouldn't.
Oh, okay.
Take care, man.
All right. See ya.
See ya. News is next.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. Google's parent company Alphabet is the latest to announce layoffs in the tech sector. It'll cut 12,000 jobs, or 6% of its workforce. Charles Lieberman at Advisors Capital Management.
As things have returned to normal, they are now trying to match up demand with supply a bit better, and so they have a few more people than they need, and they're adjusting their workforce.
Terror in the aisles at Walmart in Evansville, Illinois. Officials say a gunman wounded a worker before he was shot and killed by police. Officer Taylor Maris.
The offender's name is Ronald Ray Mosley. He's 25 years old, and he was a previous employee of Walmart.
No details yet on the motive. U.S. officials are keeping an eye on a Russian spy boat off Hawaii. Pentagon spokeswoman Sabrina Singh.
The Coast Guard is monitoring this Russian vessel that's we believe is an intelligence gathering vessel, but is operating in international and open waters.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Kevin Wyatt.
A huge upset in college basketball last night as Loyola Marymount shocking the nation by beating number 6 Gonzaga 68-67, snapping the Bulldogs' 75-game home winning streak. It was Loyola Marymount's first win in Spokane in 32 years. Another ranked team to lose last night was number 23 Rutgers, who fell to Michigan State 70-57. Every other ranked team able to take care of business last night as Purdue, UCLA, Arizona, College of Charleston, and Florida Atlantic all picking up wins on Tuesday. And in the NBA, in a rematch of last year's title game, the Celtics beat the Warriors 121-118 in overtime. Jason Tatum, 34 points, 19 rebounds, as Boston improves its NBA best record, 34-12. The Suns knocked off the Nets, 117-112, as Brooklyn now 0-4 with injured star Kevin Durant out of the lineup.
Here's your weatherology forecast. Mostly sunny skies today with our high nearing 33. Staying cloudy overnight tonight with the low around 15. More clouds throughout Saturday with a high of 33. And clear skies over Saturday night with a low around 11. Some sunshine by Sunday with a high of 29 before a slight chance for some snow showers over Sunday night. Cloudy with a low around 10. Snow showers may continue throughout Monday as well. Cloudy with our high nearing 31 degrees. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Kara Foster.
News and weather was brought to you today by Custer Electric and Irrigation in Broken Bow. Custer Electric and Irrigation, your local Zematic by Lindsay dealer, has the offerings you're looking for this winter to prepare for next year. As you know, every season brings new focuses. Here are theirs right now. Specials on driveline conversions, sprinkler packages, and winter maintenance specials, to name a few. If you've worked with Custer Electric and Irrigation in the past, you know that they want to get you taken care of the right way at the best price possible. They encourage you to get the work you need done scheduled as soon as possible because prices are rapidly increasing for a lot of supplies. Plus, that schedule book can only get so full. Don't forget licensed electrical work you might need done too on ag, commercial, and residential applications. Ask for a free quote. Custer Electric and Irrigation, your local Zematic by Lindsay dealer in Broken Bow, serving the whole area with electrical, agricultural, and commercial services. Call today at 872-7786. Follow them on Facebook or visit custerei.com. Custer Electric and Irrigation. Experience the difference.
5 minutes past what am I talking about? It's 5 degrees outside.
Did you guys get the number for the comedian?
Uh-huh. Yep, we got it. Thank you.
Was that Christy?
It was, yeah.
She
just wanted us to make sure that we had the phone number to call for the comedian we're to visit with here in a few minutes.
Oh, all right. It's 5 minutes past the hour of 9 o'clock.
Okay, thanks.
It's 5 degrees.
Oh.
5 fives.
Yeah,
2 fives.
Gotcha.
Clear skies. 5-5, clear skies. Winds out of the northwest 3 to 5. Lots of fives.
Yeah.
Barometric pressures at 3018 and rising. Humidity at 88%. Our high yesterday was 35. One more 5.
Wow.
An overnight low of 3.
Oh, I was hoping you'd say 5.
Which would have been a little better. Sunset today at 5:38. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. 2 inches and 16/100ths precipitation measured. So far this month, we believe it's probably more like 3 inches, but that's all we could get measured. Technically, on paper, but it's really what matters is what goes into the ground, right?
Yeah, there you go.
All right. We're going to get a hold of a comedian?
I believe so. Yep, that's the plan. Going to be making you laugh at Henry's Callaway Bar on Saturday, I think.
Well, let me do a comedian thing.
Okay, you got a joke?
When we try to get a hold of a comedian, what do we do with him after we catch him?
I don't know.
That's why I don't do comedy.
I was waiting for a punchline.
That was it.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah, what do you do with a comedian after you catch him?
I don't know.
If you're going to grab him, don't you get it?
No. Sorry, I'm a little slow.
Nine past the hour of 9 o'clock. No
Good
more
song.
fives.
Good song.
Isn't that a nice song?
Yes.
Eric Clapton. Wonder if he's going to tour again. He was all bent out of shape during COVID because they, weren't having concerts.
Mm-hmm.
And at his point in his career, I wasn't sure he'd be that disappointed about it, but he must love to play live.
Well, I think too that he was also thinking of the artists. I mean that the ones that aren't quite like him,
right?
That are kind of set for life now.
Mm-hmm.
That was their life, it was like, man, we've got no income because we can't perform,
right?
So, yeah, I think that was kind of drove a little of that for him too.
Yeah, I think
if I remember right.
I think you're right. We concur on that.
Oh, well, thanks. All right. Well, we concur. Hey, you want me to go through the announcements here quick?
One more time.
All right. Well, we're very happy to say that this list is way shorter than it has been the last couple of days. We'll give you the school information just one more time here, but I'm sure you all know it. And some of Smyrna Public Schools are closed today. Ansley schools are closed. Arcadia Public Schools closed. Arnold is... Oh, no. Whoop. Let me go back. Sorry. And some of Smyrna closed. Ansley closed. Arcadia... Late start. Sorry. 10 a.m. Friday, 10 a.m. start today for Arcadia. Now, it does note here that buses will run on paved roads only. Arnold Public Schools closed. Blaine County Courthouse in Brewster closed. Broken Bow Public Schools are closed. Bruning Bank in Broken Bow planning to open at 10 o'clock today. Burwell Public Schools, a late start, 10 a.m. No morning Calamus Kids Preschool, but there will be afternoon Calamus Kids Preschool at Burwell. Litchfield Public Schools are closed today. Loup County Public Schools and Taylor are closed. Nebraska State Bank showing a 10 o'clock open today for Nebraska State Bank. Ord Public Schools, a late start at 10 a.m. Overton Public Schools, late start. Buses will run where possible and passable, it says. Prairie Pioneer Center in Broken Bow closed today. No home deliveries. Sandhills Public Schools in Dunning closed. Sargent schools are closed. And SEM schools are closed today. Also, Dave, we did take a call earlier today. Want to mention this. Memorial services for Bill Williams of Broken Bow will be held tomorrow at 11 a.m. at the Broken Bow United Methodist Church, but the visitation for tonight has been canceled. So we want to make sure you're aware of that. No visitation tonight for Bill for Bill Williams of Broken Bow, but the memorial service is scheduled for tomorrow at 11 a.m. at the Broken Bow United Methodist Church, but the visitation has been canceled for tonight.
A very important announcement next here on The Breakfast Show.
Oh, breaking news?
Breaking news. Happy anniversary to Darwin and Audrey Holcomb. 50th anniversary today.
Oh, big one.
Yeah. Everybody knew it would last.
Yeah.
When they got married.
I
they
think
are a great pair.
I know Darwin's a very good friend of yours. Mm-hmm. I know Darwin a little bit, not real well, but when I hear Darwin's name, I just wonder if, when he thinks of, if he ever thinks of me, if he still shakes his head. We're coming off this big storm. Way back, many of you will remember that terrible snowstorm we had in April many years ago. You remember that?
Oh, that was a bad one.
Oh, my goodness. It was, it was snapping electric poles and everything else. We don't want to go through that ever again. But you guys were you were in Valentine fishing. You remember that?
Yeah.
And you and I think Darwin was with you, right?
Gary Coleman.
Gary was with you. These guys drove back in this. It was terrible.
It was
in
awful.
the snowstorm. Tom Hilkemeyer was working here at the time. Tom and I actually brought all of our stuff out. We were going to spend the night because we're like, there's no way Dave's getting back. And here you guys come. And you come into the parking lot. I don't even know how you saw to get yourself down the road, but you guys made it. So your goal was to get me home and Tom home that night. So Darwin and Gary are helping us out. Tom tries to pull out. runs into a snowdrift and gets stuck. Okay?
All right.
They get him out, get Tom home. Darwin and Gary then come in and say, now listen, Brent, Tom ran into this snowdrift out here. Don't do that. Okay? Brent backs out, runs right into the same snowdrift and gets stuck.
Oh.
Now, Darwin didn't and Gary didn't say anything to me, which I'm very thankful, but I can only imagine what was being said underneath their breath because they pointed it out to Apperson. Okay, here's the route you want to take. Don't drive into that snowdrift. And I did.
Well,
and I feel terrible. They got me pushed out, though, and somehow got me home. I still don't know how. I think I had a little Ford Probe at the time.
Yeah.
But thanks to those guys, was able to get home. But I think about that. Anytime a big storm comes up, I'm like, okay, now, Apperson, just don't get stuck in a drift.
Well, those guys were amazing because I wasn't driving. I was sitting, I think I was in the middle of the pickup seat, and Darwin had his head out the window directing Gary because he couldn't really tell where the road was. And we came all the way home from the Valentine Refuge on an ice fishing trip that was ill-advised when we left, but we thought, oh, we'll be all right.
We'll get back in time.
And we did. And so if you think about that, Darwin, with his head out the window, all the way from this side of Valentine, pull in and you get stuck in a parking lot. He probably was mumbling a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure he was.
But he didn't say anything.
No.
And Audrey, of course, when Audrey first moved here, when Darwin and Audrey were first married, she taught school for a number of years, and wonderful teacher. They got a great family, 50 years together. And again, as I said, nobody questioned, nobody said it wouldn't last when they got married. They just were such a natural pair to be together. So happy anniversary, Darwin and Audrey. Have a great day. All right, we're going to grab a comedian.
Okay.
And we're going to find out what we're going to do with him after we catch him.
Oh, that sounds great.
We'll do that after these words on The Breakfast Show.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681. That's 800-401-6681.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show on this Friday, and we are going to be visiting with Gary Menke, who is going to be performing at Henry's Callaway Bar in Callaway tonight. And I believe there's other comedians that are going to be there as well. So let's find out how Gary's doing. Gary, what's up this morning?
Well, good morning. Dave and Brett, what are you guys celebrating, like your 60th year on the air?
Yeah, well, I think Dave is. I'm about 20 years behind.
Zinger.
Well, I've been doing comedy for 30. Have I been on your show before? I couldn't remember.
That's right. We've had you on before, I think. Maybe.
Yeah, when we were over there in Broken Bow. It's nice. Hey, have you checked out this weather here? I heard it's snowing.
Well, it did snow.
It has snowed. Yeah, there's
you know
some...
what, though? Isn't Nebraska weird? Broken Bow, Callaway, they're like a bubble. They're like the Buffalo of Nebraska for snow. Because I'm in Hastings. They had a half an inch, and it's 78 today. I got to hurry this call up because I got a golf tee time. So it's just weird how it's different.
Boy.
Wow. You go golf, and then you come here and you go snowmobiling.
Well, you go skiing, yeah.
Yeah, skiing, yeah, right.
Close to the sand hills. I could probably go sledding.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. You guys excited about the football weekend?
I'm very excited. Who's your picks?
Well, I'm rooting for Kansas City. I'm a born loser. I'm a Bears fan.
Oh,
and,
Gary, are you serious? Are you a Bears fan?
Oh, of course. I'm a Bears
dude,
fan.
you're talking to a fellow Bears fan. I'm wearing my Monsters of the Midway sweatshirt right now.
Well, there you go. And we don't root for the Bears. We root for the draft. Pick good. Pick good.
That's right. We got the number one pick.
We're right.
I know it. I was in Chicago at Zany's, and some Bears players were at my show, and I was excited. And I'm making fun of them a little bit. And I go, hey, where are you guys going to watch the Super Bowl this year? And they weren't very happy. I was ready to bring snacks and everything. And then they really were mad. They're grabbing me. They're shaking me. They're like, hey, man, quit making fun of the Bears. And I go, no, I'm a fan. They fumbled me, and I got away. So I'll be at Callaway tonight at 8 p.m. We do have some tickets available. Not a lot. Bring your snowshoes. But I talked to Henry and the whole, little thriving towns. Everything got their blades out and cleaned up all the streets and did it themselves. They didn't wait for the state. So roads are clear, and we're ready. Drink up and show at 8 p.m. A few tickets left. If you want tickets and want to reserve a table, you can call me at 407-694-1538. It's $10 or food stamps or weed, whatever you got. We're good to go. And I'm bringing some people. You'll be surprised. Heather Jones will be there. She's funny. People from Broken Bow know her. So
yeah.
That'll be a good time. So we want everyone to rally and get out and, fight the snow. Get the fun meter back on 11,
Yeah.
Well, the good news is the crews are out cleaning things up. And, as you say, imagine the folks at Callaway have been working hard to clean up there. So if you can get there safely and have a good time. And I think Henry's actually, according to our notes here, he's going to be closed to the public from 7 p.m. until the event is over. So this is kind of a private.
He only does that because the place is going to be packed. I'm serious what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There are a few tickets left, and it's going to be a ball. Because big events like this, Judas Priest, and big concerts come to Callaway all the time, and people are used to it, selling out. So I'm ready. No, we're going to have a lot of fun, and I cannot wait.
Well, it should be fun. I think he has a capacity that he can put in there, so that's the reason the tickets are being sold. So you can only put so many people in Henry's place.
I believe it's 101 people. Someone has to sit by themselves.
Man,
yeah. That'd be either Dave or I.
Gosh,
Yeah.
Gary. All right. Well, boy, it sounds like fun. Starts at 8.
Starts at 8 p.m. Henry's Bar and Grill, Callaway, Nebraska. You can get tickets and reserve your table. 407-694-1538. If you're from Ainsley, it's 407-694-1538. Okay.
Oh, man. All right, Gary. Well, I'm sure you're going to have a great time. Travel safe and have some laughs with some folks.
All right, go Bears. Have some fun. Thanks for letting me call in, guys. You have a great weekend, and hope to see everybody with laughter and beer and loud cheer in Callaway, Nebraska at Henry's Bar and Grill.
All right. Gary Menke, thanks so much.
Thanks, guys.
9:23 is your time. You're listening to The Breakfast Show.
only will be at Sandhills High School to cover